Hello and welcome back to Helldivers 2 Loadout Roulette. Today's loadout is the Plas 39 accelerator rifle. I'm not looking forward to using that. I don't believe it's gotten buffed yet, so it's still really rough. The P113 verdict, that's probably going to be my not so primary thanks to the medium armor pen and actual reliability. And gas grenades. I'm happy. I can work with those. Our armor is the SA-25 Steel Trooper, so servo-assisted, increased throwing range, and 50% limb health. Not the best passive, but it's also definitely not the worst. Kind of just an all-around, it works, you don't need to care about who am I facing or anything like that. We have the IE-12 Righteous Helmet, because got a style on the enemy. And then Freedom's Tapestry to have that yellow trim to match the helmet. But our enemy is the Terminids. And all our missions currently have the Predator strain, so yay. I will see you in mission. Alright, so our stratagems are the Portable Hell Bomb, Mortar Sentry, Flame Sentry, and AT Mines. Oh, this is gonna be terrible. Especially because it's against the Predator strain. The faction that is the Suckdilla Suck of Terminids. And I'm so blessed to have... Damn, that actually worked. Did this actually get buffed? I'll be happy to eat my words if this is actually good now. That'd be insane. Because that would be great. Oh my god. Because I remember firing this thing into those guys and them just eating hits. Maybe it got stealth buffed. God, I hope it got stealth buffed. I could not, with a clear conscience, ever suggest this to people in its previous or prior iteration. This looks like a job for a Flame Sentry. Maybe.
Calling down a sentry. Have a taste of democracy. Heavy, northwest, 100 meters.
Oh. I can't really help with the... I can help with the Bile Titan. But it's a very single-use kind of helping. Unless...
Requesting fortification.
You should just slowly walk forward. And I can suck farts out your ass, I guess, because that didn't even affect you. Cool. Nice to know that apparently a falling mortar or falling mine dispenser does 0 damage. Yeah, I'm just gonna bait him this way and fire a nuke, or drop my nuke if I have to. Or he dies, cool. But I am recording this on the eve of the 8th, so it'd be May 7th. And you guys should be careful because there's AT mines and I don't want people dying. But the devs said about this game that on May 8th, be prepared to shit your pants over some big news, so there's 2 current possibilities. Either your pants and my pants are now shitted, or the more likely, all our pants are shitless and the devs have once again fallen prey to the classic blunder of overhyping. Which I've talked about before in previous videos, like some of my Warhammer stuff, that I'm trying to word this right. Hype is a very dangerous thing to be kind of courting and gambling with. Because just the statement like, oh, be ready to shit your pants, that is an ambitious statement for any game. Because obviously it's not literally we're all gonna just do that, but you are setting this standard of like, oh, we're gonna have something really exciting and big, and that's hard to actually achieve. Now, I will say, I am a difficult person. Shocker, I know. Yay, free stuff. But I am difficult to impress. But that's because when it comes to the industry and how things have been going for the past decade at this point, I am very jaded. I have seen the games industry screw up time after time. I've seen this cycle of hype and failure occur more times than I'd ever like to admit. So when a dev does that, I'm like, oh, you know, sure. Now, by the time this video comes out, the information will be out, and hopefully I'm wrong. I would love to eat my words. I always say that with everything that I'm critical of, I would love to be wrong. Because if I'm wrong, that means they actually met what expectations they set. And with no information about what it could be, that is a bit of an issue. Where'd that guy go?
Destroyer joining squadron, deploying Helldiver to combat zone.
My bet is probably maybe weapon modding. I don't know. That's the big thing, is trying to predict the future. You don't really know what it could be. Is it just going to be, hey, we added the rest of the Illuminate? Because that's not really a big excitement piece. My wish would be for a lot of system reworks. But as it stands, I don't really put that very high in terms of priority. There are people who still can't play this game after the last update. So for them, it doesn't matter what you add, you need to fix the game and make it run better. And that's a big part of my, be careful hyping stuff up kind of deal here. Is the devs are sitting here hyping the game up when you have critical issues that have not been addressed. Or haven't been effectively addressed. That landed behind him. Cool. And that, even then saying, hey, you need to fix the game, it's also the problem of you can't just do fixes. Player bases are a fickle bunch. It is a amalgam of people. An amalgam. Proper English here. If you only provide new content and don't fix anything, you alienate some people. If you fix things and don't add stuff, people get mad. If you don't add any... I'm fucking up the sentence. If you fix things but don't add stuff, people get mad. If you add stuff but don't fix things, people get mad. You have to balance it out, and that's very difficult for a lot of studios to figure out. Even though you would think, oh, this should be a really by-the-numbers thing of, how to resolve this issue, it actually isn't.
safe.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna do mines. They're fun, but damn, people die to those easy.
New mag. Joining the fray.
This is the curse of mines. Still wish they would change them so that AT mines only trigger when, you know, vehicle class entities touch them. Yeah, saw that coming. Yeah, I don't like hype. I'm very distrusting of anybody who hypes stuff because
Calling down a support weapon.
it's as much it's less truth than it is marketing. Humility in game design is a dying concept because everybody wants to sell their product. I can't fault them for that. But everybody's kind of taken a page from the Peter Molyneux book of selling shit, and far too often people will promise you the sun, the moon, the stars, and everything in between in the hopes of selling you a game. It's not being honest of, hey, we have a cool idea, we hope you enjoy it. It's everybody, this is the most revolutionary thing ever. Look at Starfield. How much they hype Starfield up, and that game's crap. Damn. Legless, assless, and still alive.
Calling down a sentry.
Oh, just seeing the Impaler reminded me of StarCraft, and then reminded me there's a guy who did a StarCraft mod for this game. Replacing the Terminids with Zergs. Or Zerg. Don't really need to make that plural. Cool idea. I've seen people go, oh, why can't Arrowhead do a crossover and a head that has a faction? I'm like, you realize how much, in terms of resources, you'd have to allocate to create what would likely be a limited time available sub-faction. Like, that is a hell of an order. I am going to try to... Nope. I was going to try to swoop around and drop my Hell Bomb, because we need to get that Bile Titan hole closed as soon as possible, otherwise they're gonna just keep spawning stuff.
Calling in reinforcements.
Yep, that's what I was afraid of.
Calling down a sentry.
Now we have the conga line.
Sending in an eagle.
Requesting orbital.
Requesting
Alright, now I can try to swoosh on in and...
Heavy, southeast, 50 meters. Hellbomb arm, clear the area. Requesting advanced weaponry. Requesting air support.
Hooray!
Calling in orbital strike.
I'm gonna call him in here. It's safe over here. Kind of. Now it's safe.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Oh, cool. Stalkers. My favorite.
New mag.
Rare sample acquired.
Don't want to use the stalwart too much since I just kind of leeched it off a guy. But I might have to. Yeah, 15 or 1150 RPM. We're just gonna rock and roll with this bad boy. I need a new hell bomb.
Requesting tac pack. Sending in an eagle.
I saw people complaining that these guys need a nerf, and I'm like, I understand where they're coming from. The sub-faction is really annoying. But I feel like a nerf isn't the proper method to deal with them.
Tagging location. South. Cancel that. Objective located. Southeast.
I think the best way to deal with them would be to change how sub-factions work. I need healing badly.
Sending in an eagle. Bug outpost spotted.
Are there any meds here?
Requesting air support. Requesting orbital strike. Calling down supplies. You will never destroy our way of life. Requesting sentry.
Sample collected.
There we go. Yeah, I think a revamp of how the sub-factions work, giving them like a fortress or something that's like their spawn,
Got a sample.
having them slowly radiate outward from those areas. But I think a big problem is the map size. We don't have a lot of planets, so we can't just go, oh, I'll just add a couple more.
Calling in reinforcements. Request approved. Deploying reinforcements. I got the terminal. Mission map updated.
Because I think if we had more planets,
You can proceed to extraction.
you could have lower requirements for
Calling in
capturing planets, and if you lower the requirements per planet, Players could spread out more organically. You can have smaller conflicts. It makes sense. Because I've seen people bring that up a bunch, is the fact that it is far more difficult to capture planets because every player that goes to do their own thing is actively making it harder.
Reinforcing!
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
And I think in the end it's problems that I don't think Arrowhead really saw coming, because who would have thought this would be an issue? But that's also a matter of, for design, you have to try to come up with things that really counterprove whatever you're trying to do.
Reloading!
Reinforcing.
It's tough, because you're essentially having to almost break your own game, but you have to. Otherwise you get situations like this. I mean, look at how many major orders we have failed due to just not having the dedicated manpower, or being split between two planets, or every other little issue you can think of. We've had them so often that I think right now our major order, Joel is literally just being like, hey, go here and go here. We made it easier. Just go do the damn thing, please. Which I think it feeds into why we need to have lower requirements for capturing planets, more planets to fight on,
Extraction is available.
and then clans. If you could have a clan be like, hey, we're taking this planet, everybody pile in, and that clan can do it themselves, that's cool.
Calling down a support weapon.
A cloaked, mangled torso, okay.
Attack back inbound.
Just another day in the army of Super Earth.
New mag.
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Where do we throw this? What we could have is actually the Hive Lord show up. That could be the thing that I'm predicting. Who knows?
Down a sentry.
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
I'm just hoping that whatever update we have gotten, that it's good, or at least whatever preview to an update, because I don't think it's going to be immediate, considering this major order goes 4 days.
Requesting sentry.
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
Yeah, I gotta say, this build though, not bad. Once this this rifle definitely got a buff, because it was not this handy in the past. Gas grenade's always good. Handgun, solid. Only thing really is AT mines. If I could have swapped that out for the stalwart,
ETA T-minus 30
that would
seconds.
be pretty good. Nuke is fun. Not the greatest in terms of utility, but what are you gonna do?
ETA T-minus 20 seconds.
It took out the Titan hole, and that alone kind of pays for itself in my eyes.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
I'm getting out of the way of the guy who has the quick draw emote active.
Pelican 1 landing sequence initiated. Watch where you're standing.
I've seen enough people get got by that I'm not feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle launch in 20 seconds. Extraction.
And that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.